In this session, we're going to go ahead and start work on some homework problems from section 5.2. We're going to start with number 25. All right, number 25, we're supposed to evaluate the following expression, 4 squared minus 64. That's divided by, let's see, is that division or addition? That is division, I believe. Divided by 16 times 4 minus 15. Okay, now remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Stands for parentheses first, parentheses, then all the exponents, then multiplications and divisions from left to right, then additions and subtractions. Okay, so we can do this. The first thing is there's no parentheses, so there's exponents. So there's a 4 squared, which means 4 times 4, which is 16. So we have 16 minus 64 divided by 4 squared again is 16 times 4 minus 15. Okay, now notice we're going to go ahead and do the division and the multiplication before any subtractions. So we're going to copy down 16 minus 64. We're going to do the divisions and multiplications from left to right. So 64 divided by 16 is 4. And then then the multiplication, 4 times 4 is 16. So 16 minus 16, and then that's another minus 15. Okay, so we have 6 from left to right. 16 minus 16 is 0. 0 minus 15 is a negative 15. So that would be our correct answer, a negative 15. Let's go ahead and put that in and verify that we have the correct answer. Okay, now remember, your calculator has the order of operations built in. So you can simply type this into your calculator all in one step, hit enter, and get the answer. So we have 4, and then it's squared, so the up arrow key, and then to get an exponent, squared. Then we have, get out of the exponent, subtract 64, divided by 4, again squared, so the exponent key, and then put in the 2 for the power. Right arrow to get out of the exponent, multiplication, 4, and then subtract 15. And there it is. We get our same correct answer. We did paper and pencil, and negative 15. Okay, this one we've got the brackets are just another set of parentheses. So you can work that, you just treat that as a set of parentheses, but you work in the innermost parentheses first. Okay, so on this one, we would have the innermost parentheses would be the 4 minus 6 and the 5 minus 6. So we've got 3 minus 4, a bracket, a negative 4, and then 4 minus 6 will do that, which is a negative 2, minus 2, and then the 5 minus 6 innermost parentheses is a negative 1, and then we have the bracket here. Now these are really parentheses, so inside this parentheses here, we got to go ahead and do the 2 multiplications first, right? No operation, it means multiply. So we copy down 3 minus 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is a positive 8. 2, this is a subtraction sign. 2 times a negative 1 is a negative 2. So now we have inside the parentheses, again, the brackets are a set of parentheses. We do that first. So subtract a negative is adding a positive. So it would be 8 plus 2. So we bring down the 3 minus 4. 8 plus 2 is 10. And then we got to do the multiplication. 4, nothing's in between them, so it means multiplication between the 4 and 10. So 4 times 10 is 40. 3 minus 40 is a negative 37. All right, let's go ahead and put that in to verify we have the correct answer. All right, and again, on the calculator, we can do it all in one step. 3 subtract, then a 4. Always use parens, never use brackets on the calculator. That means something different. So there's a left paren, then it is actually a negative 4 because it's times. It's a negative 4, it's not an operation. Then it's actually 4 subtract 6, so I'm using the subtraction sign because it is a subtraction. And then again, we're subtracting, and then it's a 2, and then it's in parentheses 5 subtract 6, and then 2 right parens. One for around 5 minus 6 and one around the entire problem. So that should be the correct input, and there it is, negative 37, which is the correct answer we got doing it paper and pencil. All right, so again, the order of operations are built into the calculator. You can just copy it in one step. Number 27, negative 2 squared plus 3, in parentheses 4 divided by 5 minus 6. Again, if we do paper and pencil, we would have, now the parentheses here is 5 minus 6, right? So that's a negative 1. So we have negative 2 squared plus 3 bracket 4, that's a division sign. 5 minus 6 is in the innermost parentheses, so we do that subtraction first. 5 minus 6 is a negative 1. Okay, now inside this parentheses, we're going to do the division. So we copy down opposite of 2 squared plus 3. 4 divided by a negative 1 is a negative 4. Now remember, this is 2 squared and then the opposite of it. So it's like negative 1 times 2 squared. So then it is really 2 squared is 2 times 2 is 4 times the negative 1 is negative 4. Okay? So it's, again, the opposite means you're multiplying, the base is 2 and then you're taking a negative. So it's a negative 4. And then if we want, we know we're going to do the multiplication before the addition. So we can do 3 times a negative 4 is a negative 12. And then a negative 4 plus a negative 12, 2 negatives, add them together, and you get a negative 16. Let's go ahead and put that in to verify we're correct. So we have, for this one, a negative 16. And again, you can use your calculator. Now remember, it is the opposite, right? So I've got the opposite of 2 squared, and then plus 3, a left paren, 4 divided by, in parentheses, 5 subtract 6, and then 2 right parens, and that's the entire expression. And there's our same correct answer we got, pencil and paper, a negative 16. A mountain is 6,000, number 28. A mountain is 6,750 feet above sea level, and a valley is 136 feet below sea level. What is the difference between the mountain and the valley? So we're going to subtract, right? The mountain is 6,755. To find the difference, we're going to subtract, right? But notice, be careful here. The valley is 136 below sea level. So below sea level, you have to represent it with a negative number. So 16,755 subtract a negative 136 will make it add a positive. Again, you can just do it on your calculator. The key here, it's below sea level, so it's subtracting a negative, which becomes adding a positive. But again, on your calculator, you don't have to change it to adding a positive. You can just keep it to subtract a negative. So again, 16,755 subtract, and then it's a negative 136, and you get 16,891, which is indeed the correct answer. Okay, the number line shows below, number 29, the number line shows below indicates factors that can stretch or shrink one's probable lifespan. If someone who regularly works puzzles and are a person that smokes cigarettes, do you shrink your lifespan? Do you stretch or shrink your lifespan by how many years? So the two factors are works puzzles and smoke cigarettes. Let's find it now on here. Smoke cigarettes is right here, which is what? On this, it corresponds to a negative 15. So it would actually shrink, right? Negative means your lifespan is decreased. Works puzzles is right here, which is what? A positive 5, right? So a negative 15 plus 5, you subtract the two numbers, 15 minus 5 is 10, and the sign of the larger absolute value, which is the negative number, so your answer is negative 10. So your life expectancy will what? Negative means shrink by 10 years. Okay? So we have, since it's a negative, it's going to shrink, and we'll just put in 10, the positive number, because we know it's shrinking. All right, number 30. The number line indicates the factors that stretch or shrink one's probable life. If you have a blood relative 95 or older, and you are a person that smokes cigarettes, do you stretch or shrink? Okay, smoke cigarettes is a negative 15. 95 or older is a what? Positive 10. So plus 10. So again, a negative 15 plus 10. Subtract the two numbers because one's negative, one's positive, and the answer would be a negative 5. So that means you're going to what? Shrink by 5 years, right? Negative means you're losing, so you're going to lose life expectancy. So we would have, again, you would have shrink by 5 years. Okay, and we can do this on the calculator. Remember, smoking cigarettes was a negative 15. Having a blood relative was a plus 10, so add 10. And there's our negative 5, which corresponds to shrinking by 5 years. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop this session here. If you have any questions, please send me an email at tswers@hodges.edu or call me at 239-938-7805. Thank you.